Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel, Planning with Bree. I'm Bree, and today I'm going to be setting up my mama's prayer journal for the month of May. So I'm going to start out with this quote that kind of goes into her cover page. I wanted to make this cover page look like a Mother's Day card since May is the month for Mother's Day. So I'm going to start with this quote. Well, actually, it's a Bible verse that says, "When she speaks, her words are wise, and she gives instructions with kindness." And that is Proverbs 31:26. So once I'm done laying down the foundation for my letters and the handwriting with the light pink in Crayola, I am then going to do some ombre using the dark pink of a darker pink color from the same Crayola set. And this is just going to create that same ombre effect that I've created and I've fallen in love with the last few times that I've done it. So the way I create this ombre effect is just to fill in the letter at the top with solid line or with some solid color, and then I kind of make some marks like right here, a tick mark where I want the two colors to blend together. You can see it a lot better right here as I'm working down at the bottom. And I only go down about halfway to make those tick mark strokes, and then everything else up top is the full dark pink color. So I got the idea to make this Mother's Day card because number one, all the cards that I've seen so far are just really pretty. I've been looking for Mother's Day gifts for her, and you know, the flowers and cards pop up, and I wanted to create something that was very reminiscent of a card, of a Mother's Day card. And since this is a prayer journal, of course, I'm going to use a Bible verse. And this is also just a very nice quote. It's something that if I were to say this about my mom, which it is true about her, it's a compliment. It's very, I don't know, it's just very pretty. And it says a lot about the woman. If you can say that she's wise, but she's also kind, you know, she's not harsh, but she's also not going to stray away from the truth. So that's why I use that Bible verse. So to create the background, which is just some drawings of some tulips and their long, thin green leaves, I am using a mix of my Crayola Supertips and my CalliArt markers. Every single color that I use will be on the screen in the top right hand corner, and y'all know how it is. Crayola does not give numbers for their markers, so I just kind of describe the shade that I'm using if it's a Crayola marker. But with the CalliArt marker, I will give the exact number if you do want to try these markers out. And if you would like to try these markers out, I do have everything that I'm using listed down below in my description box. So feel free to give those a try. And let me know how you guys like those markers. So I'm just going to fill in this page with some tulips. And the reason I chose to use tulips is because they are extremely easy to draw. Tulips are also extremely quick to draw. And for this spread, I wanted something that was quick, simple and clean, but still very pretty and very colorful. So when I was just looking up pictures, they really just look like an open oval with some petals at the top. And some of the pictures that I saw, the tulips were two different shades of pink, and this was the easiest way that I could do that. So if you notice, I am using a darker shade of whatever the color the tulip is for the petal in the front, and I'm also using a lighter shade for the petals in the back. So for this orange, I have a darker orange in the front, and I use that lighter shade to create some shading just by darkening where those lines are, like I'm doing right here with the yellow, just to create some depth in the flower. So this was the easiest and simplest way that I chose to draw the flowers, but there are many different ways You can draw them using shading on the tips of the flower with the same color. You could also just do this with pencil and use the pencil for shading, or if you're using colored pencils, that would be really nice as well. This would also be really pretty with watercolor. So now I am going to write Happy Mother's Day all the way across her two cover pages here. And I'm using the Pigma Micron 0.05. And I'm just using some really pretty simple cursive to go all the way across the top. So I did lose some footage here. I'm not sure what happened, but my phone did stop recording. So when I cut the page out and then put that pink behind it, there was no record of it. So I did that so that it would look like a Mother's Day card. So this next page is going to be for her favorites. And this is her section to write her favorite scriptures, her favorite songs, whatever that she chooses to write here. So I started with a pencil outline of a heart, and I just filled in the heart with the same leaves and tulip drawings that I've been using. I just realized that I didn't even talk about the color scheme yet, but as you can see, I'm using this greenish gray, or this grayish green Crayola marker, because it was a very subtle green and I like how it complemented the colors that I chose for the tulips. And the colors I chose for the tulips were the orange, yellow, and pink. And honestly, I'm not sure that I would have chosen those three colors had I not chosen to do the flowers of tulips. Like, they're very bright, standalone colors. They look great together, but for some reason, I don't put those colors, or I haven't put those colors together in a spread yet. And this was the perfect spread to do it for. So shout out to everybody who makes cards, like who designs cards for a living for Hallmark. What are those people? Are those graphic designers? I would love to know who does that for a living. Is that I know that has to be a job. Sorry, on a tangent, but I'm just gonna fill these in, and I'm going to use a very, very light tan marker, the lightest tan marker that I can find, to fill in the entire page on the outside of the heart. I know you guys have seen like the cards that are two-toned. So I wanted the right hand side to be one color with that vibrant pink with the piece of paper that I glued down, and then I wanted the left hand side, the side that I'm working on right now, to be that light tan color. I just thought it would give it just a little bit of character. And I didn't have any tan paper. I could have used craft paper, but I didn't like that color. And I also knew that it would be a little harder to draw lines on the craft paper if I had used it. So that's why I chose to use this marker instead, which I really do like this color. It's one of my favorite colors. I probably use this marker in every single spread that I do. If not this one, then the really, really light gray one. So when I am done coloring in this entire left-hand side of the page, I'm even going to flip my journal upside down to get that top corner up there. I am going to then go in with a ruler and my Pigma Micron so that I can draw some lines in. And I believe I'm using the 0.05 to write May favorites just around that heart. And then I'm going to use the same marker to draw her lines. And when I'm done with that, I'll be back to talk about the next spread. So on this page, I am going to draw a vase of flowers with the name card that's in it, and the name card is going to say prayers. So this spread is for her prayers, and she doesn't use that much space for this, not as much as she uses for her favorites. So I thought that having a very, very pretty picture on the left hand side would be the best way to go. So I am just going to draw these tulips all the way along the inside of the vase. I even have some pointing downward, like they're drooping over the front of the vase. And then I'm also going to just outline the vase. I'm going to keep it simple, as if it were a white vase. And later on, I do go in and add a little bit of shadow with the gray, the lightest gray Crayola marker that came in this set. And that's it for this page. Like I said, I was really trying to keep it very, very simple with the drawings and the colors, just adding some depth with the colors that I chose, and using that very thin Pigma Micron in the 0.005 to create some thin, sketchy lines to make it look like a drawing. So I really had fun with this spread. It did not take long. This is probably the shortest amount of time that I have used to record a video. So if you're gonna try this out, guys, let me know if it goes by as quickly for you as it did for me. I also love how it turned out. Like, all of these bright colors against the white pages is exactly what I needed for the May weather that's coming. So yeah, I'm going to finish this page off by coloring in that name card with the same light tan color, and then I'm going to use the Pigma Micron to outline that card and then write the word prayers. And then on the next page, I'm just going to draw in some lines like I did for her favorites page, and that'll be it. And then we'll be on to her spread for the first week of May. The last spread that I'm going to be setting up in this journal is her week 1 spread. So for every spread, I do the same thing. I provide enough space for the date, the scripture, and the sermon title, and a place for her to write her notes for the sermons. So as I've been doing for all of the other spreads, I'm just going to keep this very, very simple. I just used some drawings of some tulips and a few of their leaves. I colored those in, and then I am all done for this page. I used to draw in lines, but it's not hard to write in a straight line using the dots of this page. So if she doesn't have a problem with it, then I just leave it blank because I like the clean look. But if she requests lines for her next few weeks, then I will absolutely draw those in for her. So that is going to be it for my spread right after I color all of this in. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. You can also follow me at Planning with Bree on Instagram, where I post updates of my spreads, and to my Instagram story. So I'm going to leave it here, guys, with a quick flip through. So I hope to see you guys back next Tuesday for another video. Bye.